What's that?
That's what's happening with blood sugar inside my body.
But it's just a black box. So how do you know what's actually happening with your glucose?
I don't. Not until I measure. Knowing what the glucose is doing can make a huge difference. After all, you can't control what you can't measure.
At Simply Diabetes, we can help you manage your diabetes cheaper and easier.
We are not medical professionals. We are people with diabetes, just like you.
Welcome. We all want to be healthy and avoid diabetes complications. Managing your glucose or blood sugar is key to managing diabetes. We view diabetes management as a three-layer cake. Eat better, move more, and measure.
Measuring is crucial to glucose management. After all, if you don't measure your sugar, how do you know what it is and what you need to do?
We sometimes hear people say they know their sugar exactly, down to a single point without measuring, because they can feel it.
I don't believe it for a nanosecond. Sometimes you can feel things happening inside your body. For example, when I very rarely get a sugar low, I see shimmering lights and feel uneasy. I can also tell sometimes when my sugar is climbing rapidly. But that's it. If it's not low or not rising super fast, I can't tell if it's 80 or 235. I can logic it out and expect that if I ate something carby, it would be high. But that's it. And even then, the actual measurements occasionally surprise me. So don't expect to just know. It's impossible. You need to measure.
There are two tests that tell you about your sugar. Hemoglobin A1C measures the average blood sugar over the last 3 months. It's not a perfect average, it skews towards the more recent values.
There are home A1C tests out there, but most people have one done in a lab. That's good, because lab tests are more reliable.
We get ours done just before visiting our doctor. This way we have the latest info to talk about with her. Your doctor will tell you how often you need to test your A1C, but it's typically every 3 to 6 months.
You want your A1C under a specific value. The American Diabetes Association recommends A1C under 7, so we follow this guideline. Your doctor might tell you to aim at a different value, so follow their advice. There isn't one universally accepted guideline, but generally, many organizations recommend that diabetics aim for an A1C of either under 6.5 or 7. If you're older, your doctor might suggest a higher value. My 84-year-old mom was told to aim below 8. That's because she takes insulin, and a low at her age can be dangerous. Take a look at this table. It shows you what a specific A1C value means.
We are very careful not to skip these tests. It's important to know because the result will tell you how well you are doing long term and if you need to tweak something. If your diabetes is well controlled and your A1C is well under the limit, you don't have to measure that often.
But if you take insulin, or if your sugar is out of whack, or if your doctor suggests it, you need to do more. To test, you need a glucometer and test strips.
What should the value be?
That depends when. First thing in the morning, you want 110 or less. After a meal, the reading will be higher, but you don't want it to get too high. Many doctors recommend their patients keep their blood sugar in the 70 to 180 range. There are even doctors who don't prescribe specific ranges as long as your A1C is okay.
Some people balk at the thought of pricking their fingers several times a day.
I know. It isn't exactly pleasant, and sometimes it might even hurt. It's a hassle you have to remember, and the strip costs money unless your insurance covers them fully. But it's worth it. By the way, your finger is not the only place to measure. You can also use your earlobe. It's a bit awkward doing it yourself, but I did it for my dad when his fingers hurt. When you measure your blood sugar, you know exactly what's happening inside your body at that moment. The number can tell you how well you're doing and whether you need to adjust something in your lifestyle. You're in full control. If your number is within a healthy range, you have peace of mind. If not, you know what to do to get it within the range. After a while, pricking your finger becomes less and less stressful until it gets to be routine. You'll think nothing of it. If you really can't face the thought of pricking yourself, try continuous glucose monitoring or CGM.
You love yours.
Yes, CGMs are hugely helpful. I have used one for several years and I love it. This is the only way to know what is happening with your blood sugar at any time. Not just right now, but for the last several hours. You also get other information, such as the percentage of time you stayed in the target zone and your approximation of A1C over a period of time. A CGM comes pre-configured to show a safe sugar range, but you can change it. For example, my Freestyle Libre considers 70 to 180 safe, but I lowered the top setting to 170. There are two popular CGMs, Freestyle Libre and Dexcom. Both offer you the same info, so which one you choose, it's a matter of taste. For me, my insurance only covers Freestyle Libre, so I go with that. I have used Dexcom before, and it gives you basically the same info. Dexcom has a new sensor that you can buy without a prescription. It doesn't have all the features of the product you get by prescription, but if your insurance doesn't cover CGMs, you have an option. I hear Freestyle Libre has one as well.
We should talk about watches. Some claim they can measure your blood sugar without piercing your skin.
We keep hearing about them, but we have yet to find one that would give us what we need. We tested a couple, and we're not impressed. They are not reliable, and so you can't use them to make decisions about your treatment.
Hopefully, someday soon, they come up with a watch that lives up to the expectations.
Hopefully, we've convinced you to keep on top of your sugar, so it's not a mystery like our black box. Tell us about your experience. Did you find it difficult to prick your finger? Did you try using your earlobe? We have a lot more info about managing your diabetes in our book. I added the link below the video.
If you found this video useful, give us a like, subscribe to our Simply Diabetes channel, and set a reminder so you don't miss our next videos. And don't forget to tell your friends.
See you next time.